Hello, I wanted to get on live and talk today about how you can be positive when the world seems to be like super crazy. In light of the massacre, that's what I'm going to call it because that's what it was, in Las Vegas, I thought that there was a message that needed to be shared, and nothing can make us less sad that that nothing can make us feel better about that event and how it affected those people that were involved and the people that honestly saw just the footage of what happened. But I choose to live my life in a very positive way. And I also do some other things that I wanted to share with you all, so you would maybe take this, and maybe you do it, and maybe you don't. Maybe you dwell on the negative, and so maybe this will help you in some way, especially at this time. One of the things, and my connectivity isn't great, so hopefully I can get through this. But one of the things that I do is take deep breaths. So I did that this morning a lot because I just felt like when you take in oxygen, it's really good for your body. And it's also a big stress reliever. So I attended a Tony Robbins conference, an event, and that's one of the things that Tony does every morning is he does this, he calls it a priming. And if you're really curious about his specific technique, just go ahead and Google him or go on YouTube and search for him. But he does these series of breaths. He goes, but he does it like 10 times, 3 cycles. And, he does it kind of fast. But just taking deep breaths, and that's one of the things that meditation can do for you, is you just take a deep breath. I find sometimes that's part of the addiction to smoking, is that, because I was a smoker a long time ago when I was in my 20s, and one of the things that was really hard to let go of was that deep breath that you took when you inhaled. And I realized that that's something that you can still do. You don't need cigarettes to do that. So I would suggest that you just, when you're feeling tense, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling sad, you're feeling, very negative, just stop and take some deep breaths. It kind of resets your mind, and I love that. So the second thing is that, and this is what I do, I avoid watching the news and listening to the news because our news is very negative, and news that's negative sells. Who wants to see a happy, very few people want to see like positive stuff, and it's kind of addicting to get into that negative news mindset. And no matter what your political belief is, right now we're in a very divided society. And frankly, I hate our two-party system because I think it creates division. And there's just polar opposites right now going on. It's creating a lot of friction. And so what I would suggest, number one, is to eliminate as much as possible the news. You can set up news alerts on your phone to get the important stuff. I didn't know about the massacre. I didn't find out about it until Monday evening after I got home from work and walked into my house where, my husband was watching the news, and then I found out about it. And I had done probably what is an inappropriate post. I asked people what they're excited about today, and I got a couple of negative comments on it, but then I got a lot of positive people too, that people said that you need positivity in this world. Had I known about the event, I would not have chosen to post that, but that's what got me thinking about, we really need to, instead of criticize people and be negative when something negative happens, just lift people up. Look like it's like the glass is half empty with so many people instead of the glass is half full. So I think, I need to set up some alerts, because if I'm going to be, as public as I am on Facebook, I need to be aware of these things that happen very suddenly. So a lesson learned there. But I want to tell you that, when somebody, don't always rush to judgment on people. One of the people was actually a family member, and she rushed to judgment that I knew about this massacre, yet I still chose to post that post. And it was really disheartening for me because, of all people, this person should have known better that I would never do something like that. That would be so kind of like insensitive, if you will. And so I think as much as possible, try to eliminate news but when the news is negative, try to stay positive about how we can help each other, how we can make this a better world, and how you can help the victims, and be less judgmental and less negative about our future, because we all have control of this to make this a better world. And the world will only be better if we are surrounded by positivity and optimism and not about negativity. Negativity breeds negative energy, and when we put out negative energy, we bring that to us. So if you've ever heard of the law of attraction, that's basically it. It's a scientific thing that actually happens, and when the more your mindset is negative, the more you put out negativity, the more you say I can't, the more we say we're all gonna die, the more you say our society is doomed. Honestly, you're putting that out into the world, and bad stuff happens. So we want good stuff to happen. We only want positivity, right? So, and then that goes to my third thing, and my last thing that I wanted to share is to be grateful. Be grateful for what we have. I mean, I'm sitting right now. I left my office so I could do this video for you, but because it's a bad echo in there. But I am sitting in a beautiful car that has cruise control. I am in air conditioning. I can get gas 5 minutes away. I have access to things. This country is amazing. And if you've never traveled to a third world country to see or talk to people that live in a third world country, you have no idea how lucky we are. So when you feel a negative, feeling about where this country's headed, then think about all of the things, the luxuries we have, the ability we have to speak our mind. I mean, so many places, you'd go to jail if you said some of the things that we say on social media or spoke out in public, So be grateful that we have those freedoms. We have the freedoms to kneel during the national anthem, and so when we have the freedoms to be educated and to access great health care, and I can go on, and I choose to dwell on all of the positive because I don't want to sit in a negative mindset. I don't want to. When you do that, it affects your health. It affects your relationships, and it affects, our world. And I want to be a light in this world. I don't want to be a cloud in this world. And so I'm just going to finish by just letting you know that I created a course just because my mission is to teach what I've learned about how we all have control within ourselves, within our mindset, within the things we do, the way we eat, the way we act, the way we think. And so all of these things play together in creating a positive mindset. And it's always been a passion. When I started coaching 4 years ago, it's been an evolution for me, and it started with workouts and nutrition, but it evolved into something more because I realized that I have this ability to share how I stay positive, how I stay optimistic. And that's a passion of mine. I want, when I come across anybody, I want them to smile. I want to leave the world a better place. And if that's simply a laugh or a giggle or a smile, then I've done good in this world. And if I can leave and make an imprint more on, how you can have tools. So just a smile is great, but how about if I could teach you techniques that could really take this to a different level, where you could change the way you feel on a daily basis just by doing certain things that I've learned, because it's in here, and we have the power to control that. It's not other people that affect us, it's how we can control and react. And so I have a course that I've created, and I'm super excited about it. I did it in July. I did a beta run of it, and I got great feedback. The people who participated in that course gave me nothing but really great feedback. So I am actually launching that to the rest of the world, and I have chosen a date of October 30th, and that it's going to be it's a 4-week course. There's 4 modules. It's at your own pace. It's all online, and it's with me involved in supporting you. There's video lessons and exercises, and it's if you have any interest in participating and making yourself really learning about how techniques in order to keep you positive. I think this world needs more of this, and so I decided that I was going to jump into this arena and learn how to create a course and then start teaching it. So I'm going to probably do it about 3 times a year. I'm not going to do it every month. It's obviously takes a lot of my time, but I am very passionate. I'm very passionate about this. I feel it's my life's mission to get this message across. And so I just wanted to get on here and share kind of my 3 tips based on, trying to get over the events. They'll always be with us. The events are horrible. I mean, I still think of 9/11 and the sadness and the horrible tragedy that was. But just to help you kind of reduce that sadness, to try to feel optimistic about life and about the people in it, because although we all have different beliefs and systems and religions and cultures, in the end we're all human beings, and we all have loved ones, and we all want to do our best. And there's some bad seeds in the bunch, but they're very, very few and far between, and we're very lucky for that. So and like I said about the news, they don't highlight all those good deeds and those good people and those good scenarios where there are heroes. We don't have enough hero stories, in my opinion. So thank you for listening, and I hope you've gotten something out of this. And I will be posting information about my course if you're interested. Actually, I'll put a link in the comments so you can get more information. I am setting up for that October 30th start date. So I can I'll add a link to the comments below where you can, just basically register. So your email address, so I can send you more information on it. Okay. All right. So have a great Wednesday. Thanks for listening. Mwah.